To this new Love Buddy video. We're doing daily videos. This is a Love Buddy live video, and it's 10 a.m. here in the Philippines. It's 10 p.m. in New York, and it's whatever time it is where you are. Welcome, and I hope you find today's topic to be interesting. I find it really fascinating. It's about hate, love and hate. Love and hate opposites. What does it mean? By the way, this video and the whole Love Buddy project concept is not about being the authority about love. And since I'm the one who's talking here, I want to clarify. I don't consider myself to be an authority of love or to have perfected love or to be great at loving people or using love, but it is the central study of my life. It is the central concern of mine. It is something that I want to be the center of my life. It's something I want to learn about. It's something I want to be good at. But I don't want to try to say or imply that I'm always this great, loving person. I don't want to create the impression that I think I'm an example about love. No, I'm not. I make mistakes about love. I'm on the path of learning like everybody else. But the reason that I am doing this organization, this love project called Love Buddy, the website, Facebook page, the courses about love, all of this is because I think it's something that is good if we learn about, we share about, we help each other learn and understand. Love is a dynamic thing. It's not a static, fixed thing that never changes. Love is something that we grow and learn about. Maybe love by itself in isolation, sure. Love is the foundation of the universe, in my opinion, and that's neither dynamic nor static. It just is. But our understanding, our practice, our application of love, and our understanding of love. This changes and grows all the time. That's what it's about. It's an infinite thing. So I'm on the path to learning more about love. I hope you are too. I hope we can share and learn together. So daily I do these live videos about love and discuss some different ideas about love. So that's the purpose here. It's an open discussion. Everyone's ideas and questions, opinions, challenges, completely welcome, completely equal. And so that's what this is about. And that's what I'm about. And that's the kind of a full disclosure or a disclaimer that I want to make is that I don't want to imply that I'm an expert about love. It's just something that I'm trying to learn about, and it's something that I hope that more of us can share together, learn about together, grow in together, focus on more, and bring more love to the world. Because I see that as a major project, a major benefit to the world if we focus more on love and if we understand love more, and if we are able to be loving more to each other. So there's one definition here. Is hate the opposite of love? I don't think so. I think maybe indifference is the opposite of love. Apathy, not caring, abandonment. Sometimes hate, as we can see here. Here's a definition that I got off the internet. It says to feel intense or passionate dislike for someone. The boys hate each other. There are some synonyms here. Loathe, detest. Dislike greatly, abhor, abominate, despise, execrate, one word I don't know, feel aversion toward, feel revulsion toward, feel hostile toward, be repelled by, be revolted by, regard with disgust, not be able to bear or stand, be unable to stomach, find intolerable, shudder at, recoil from, shrink from, and the list goes on. The next point here in the notes, mea culpa. I'm guilty of hate. Absolutely, I'm guilty of hate. Absolutely. And probably more than your average person. Probably. And maybe that's one of the things that has driven me toward, motivated me toward understanding love. Because feeling frustration or feeling anger at having trouble with things in my life, I've had a tendency to hate something or someone or blame something and create that target. So what brings about hate? Guilt. Sometimes we're guilty of something and we hate to see that in others. It's kind of like a guilt speaks loudly in accusation. So sometimes if we're a Democrat and we hate the Republicans, could be the more staunch of a Democrat we are is going to make us hate more because we're more at the extreme. And we see that in someone else. If we're closed-minded about our political stance, our religion, our football team, then we can set up this kind of polarity much easier because we're being hateful, we accuse others of being hateful. So that's a real common thing. We're guilty on both sides of that. We get frustrated, we get tired, we get burned out on something. Sometimes that'll cause hate to come up. This strong, passionate aggravation, overwhelm. Overwhelm for me sometimes is, there's an example in a Monty Python sketch where a guy's trying to order some cheese at a cheese shop. And the guy actually doesn't have any cheese at all, driving the guy crazy. He said, well, do you have cheddar cheese? Do you have this? Do you have that? He said, no, fresh out, no. And actually the whole thing's a lie. The guy doesn't have any cheese at all. And there's music going in the background. And this music in the background is becoming more and more irritating as the guy's getting more and more frustrated. Finally, he yells, he shouts, shut that music off, stop them playing. Why? Because it's just so frustrating. So that hate comes out, it boils out, and the guy feels just the hate. And the hate maybe is a passionate frustration, a passionate anger. We're saying that's the problem. We're blaming, we're pointing the finger. Fear can hate come up with fear? Yes. Hate always is a result of fear. Fear is at the foundation. That things are just out of control, that things are just, it's so wild, it's so crazy. The other day I blew up at a kid because the kids knocked my motorcycle over. And I told them don't play on the motorcycle. A lot of kids in this neighborhood, the kids are completely unruly because they don't really have a sense of community. They don't really have good parenting. They don't have anybody nurturing and watching over them. We're trying to work with that. We've got a community center that we started, but there's still a lot of work to be done because we've only been here a short time. And we're not able to change things or improve things or help things that much that fast. So the kids are still pretty much unruly. I told them don't play on the motorcycle. They know they're not supposed to play on the motorcycle. And so they knocked it over, and a little bit of damage, but no big deal. But I was so frustrated because I'm so busy working on something. Then I hear that, then I go out there and the kids are playing on the motorcycle. It's like, I lost my temper, I was shouting. I said, don't play on the motorcycle. I told you don't play on the motorcycle. So this was frustration that I had. I lost my cool. I definitely was way out of the love zone. I wasn't calm, I wasn't loving, I wasn't patient, I wasn't kind, I wasn't respectful, I wasn't polite, I wasn't generous. I threw all those things away, I forgot all those things that I want to be, and I yelled at the kid. Poor kid, right? Kids are kids, right? And we don't know what to do, we don't know, we're just trying to have fun, and parents or big kids or whatever, they're always telling us don't do this, don't do that. So after a while, especially the kids here, they just ignore it. It's a joke to be yelled at by somebody because maybe it's not a good form of nurturing. It's not a kind of respect. It's not something that someone wants to take in. If we feel hate, passionate dislike from somebody, it's always, we want to put up our guard against that. We don't really want to embrace that. So the kids are going to react, and the kids are going to react unfavorably. And so I was quite guilty of that. And I was afraid of them hurting the motorcycle. I was afraid of them not learning how to be more, I don't want to say orderly because there's no order to play really, but there are certain rules. So you don't break things and you don't make too much noise in the middle of the night and make a big mess. So I guess I was afraid that when are these kids going to learn? When are we going to be able to have a more orderly neighborhood and have the kids play in a more orderly fashion? So I was afraid that I was kind of losing out on that challenge. So what kind of things do we hate? Yeah, hate requires a conclusion. The conclusion is that thing's causing my pain. So I directed the frustration that I felt toward that kid. Even though all the frustration that I felt was internal. It was my own fear, my own guilt, my own overwhelm, my own frustration. That was all me. I owned all that. It wasn't him. He didn't cause that. I caused that. But I directed that at him and I made him the target. How often do we do that? How often do we have our own frustration inside? We're outside of the love zone. We've forgotten to be generous and kind, tolerant, understanding. We've forgotten to be that. We throw that away and then we say, that's the problem. That's the bad guy. That's what's causing. No, it's not. It's all from our own weakness, our own inability, our own challenges regarding being a loving person, practicing love, and being in the love zone. So here's some things that can help us to learn, help us to feel less hate and feel more peace inside. Because remember, hate only hurts us. But really, hate causes so much more internal pain when we are hating than whatever that target is. Because most of the time, the target doesn't care. For good reasons or bad reasons, for whatever reason, most of the time, all of that hate, well, all of the time, all of the hate that we create based upon our own weakness, our own frustration, our own inability to love, our own lack of love skills, it's hurting us. We're the ones who feel all that pain, and we're the ones that can solve that problem. The world is as it is, and if we don't accept the world as it is, we're going to be frustrated all the time. So we need to make a decision. Do I accept things the way they are? Sure, might want to change things, might want to influence things in a positive way, but at the same time, we first have to accept things for the way they are. So the first point here is accepting. If we want to have less hate, we have to accept. Somebody, and I bring this example up a lot because it makes a lot of sense to me. We're driving on the road and someone cuts in front of us, it causes us to be afraid we're going to hit that. So out of that fear, out of that overwhelm, wow, got to stop, can't hit this guy, and what a jerk kind of a thing, If we accept that guy doing that, the hate's going to go away. We say, okay, for whatever reason, I'm not going to get into the right or wrong. The world isn't about right and wrong. The world is about accepting. It's about loving. So we accept that, and then all of that inner frustration, all that inner stress, all of that tension, all of that animosity and anger, it goes away if we can accept that. Communicating. If there's a situation where we need to say, hey, please do this, this is frustrating for me, this is difficult for me. Look, you keep walking on the floor with your muddy shoes and then I have to clean it again. So, effective communicating can really help. Embracing the world, accepting the world is kind of an acceptance. Embracing the situation can also help us to have greater understanding. Understanding is vital to not hating, to loving, to being able to love. So love is this kind of embracing and accepting energy. Feedback is kind of like communicating. Maybe you didn't know it, but every time this happens, this is difficult for me. Can we work out some kind of an arrangement and accept whatever the outcome might be? By the way, accepting doesn't mean giving up. Accepting means not fighting reality. So there's one thing to say that, I'm not going to try to do anything about this anymore. No, it's not about that. That's not what this definition of accepting is. This definition of accepting is seeing what the situation really is, being conscious to the reality of life, the world, the challenges and things that come up. And then you go from there and you decide, okay, do I want to put my energy into changing this situation, bettering this situation or not? Do I want to not work on that? Do I not have love for that? So I'm going to abandon that particular project. Maybe I'm not so interested in save the whales because it's not fitting for me. It's not where I can be the most help. But I want to work with the dolphins or, tuna nets or whatever, or anything else you might choose. So we can decide where to put our energy and where to put our focus. We're accepting reality as it is, and we're still giving energy towards the things that we want to contribute to, things we want to change, things we want to improve in life. Generosity. It takes generosity to sometimes not hate, to let go and just love and accept, understand. That can be a generous kind of an action. Oneness, understanding that we're one, understanding that this universe is kind of like a stage, it's kind of like a big play. And it's an opportunity for us to learn to love. It's an opportunity for us to meet challenges and see challenges and have something thrown at us that we need to react to in a loving way, that we need to grow and learn regarding that. So if we understand that this is all one, this is, you don't really hate when you're on the stage and you're the good guy and that's the bad guy. You don't really hate the guy in your heart. You understand that he's doing this thing, and how am I going to cope with that? How am I going to deal with that? So it becomes more of an objective thing. We don't take these things personally. We don't get personally offended by the things that come up. We say, wow, here's another challenge in the game of life. Here's an opportunity to learn how to be more loving. Here's an opportunity for me to enjoy life, be happy with life, create a better environment for myself and those around me. Oneness is a key thing. Tolerant, put up with things. Sometimes we just need to tolerate things. We need to put up with it. Even though it's maybe not an optimal situation, we tolerate them because life is never going to be optimal. We don't want it to be optimal because if it is, there's no more life. So there's a challenge. So we put up with some things that we can put up with and we focus on the things that we can deal with. Patience, yes. Patience is another important quality about loving and not hating. Maybe we're waiting in line and the line is moving too slow. We've got to be patient. Let the line move step by step. Let the person do their job. Focus on positive thoughts. Be patient. Don't lose your patience and get all upset and be hateful. Being conscious. So being conscious is part of accepting. Before we can accept, before we can understand, before we can be loving, we need to be conscious. We need to be aware. What's going on here? Not through 1,000 filters that we have about our emotional reactions, but conscious to the situation as objectively as we can. Try to see what's happening on a very objective level, on a very objective basis. And that helps us to cope with the situation with love, to come back with love. If we're interpreting everything, oh, my mother used to do that and they used to drive me crazy, so don't do, that's living in the past. Your mother's not here right now. This person is here right now. And try to be conscious to what the real situation is and be compassionate and understanding for where this particular person is coming from in this particular situation. That's what consciousness is about. And once we do understand by being conscious, we're much, much more able to be constructive and deal with things in a positive way. And finally here on this particular list is being humble. Now there are about 68 love qualities of love that describe love when we see it. When we see these qualities, we know love is around. It's like where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's these qualities, there is love. And there are more of those qualities that could apply to dealing with hate when hate comes up. But this last one here is just a list that I compiled today, and that is being humble. If things are not going the way we want them to go, we need to realize that this world is not designed to accommodate all of our needs. It's not what the world is about. The world is designed so that if we know what we're doing, we understand love, we can be very happy, we can be very contented, we can be very joyful, and the world can be a perfect, absolutely wonderful place if we understand love. We can totally embrace the world. But if we are not humble and we say, this world isn't living up to my expectations, there's a kind of arrogance there. And there's a kind of ignorance there saying the world is supposed to be this way. And you're going to fight it, and you're going to hate. You're going to feel justified in hating. Because why can these people do this thing? Why can that guy be doing this thing right now? How can this stupid car not be starting right? I hate this car. If we're not humble, let's take a step back, evaluate the situation. We're going to be arrogant, we're going to hate, it's going to be easy to target. It's going to say, we're going to say something like, I have every right to be hateful. And sure, you do. And is that working out well? Is that a helpful thing for your day-to-day happiness? Is it helpful to your environment, those around you? Is it helping your health? Your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health? No. Hate doesn't help any of those things. So why do people hate so much? Well, the reason why people hate so much, the reason why I've hated so much is because nobody taught me about love. I didn't learn about love until I had experienced a lot of hate. And now I have an understanding more of when hate comes out. I can catch myself more quickly. And I can say, wow, I'm being hateful, and I'm not in the love zone. But because love isn't being taught that much in the world, we're not really given an understanding of love as kids, which I think we all should be. I would like to see that, and I am contributing to that concept. Helping kids when they're young learn about love and what love is, and so that they can live a life more in love. So love isn't being taught that much, so there's a lot of hate in the world. The more we focus on love, the more we share love, the more we teach love, the more we learn love, the more we love, the less hate we'll have in the world. So that's the ideas today. I just want to go through here. There's a free ebook you can get. You go to lovebuddy.com. Click on the link here, the Book of Love. And that's a free little ebook that talks about some ideas about love. Fixing the format now. The format, I've had a note to work on the format, make it look a little bit nicer to the eye. For a few days now, I need to get around to doing that. Main Love Buddy website is listed here. Facebook page for Love Buddy is here. And there's a link here also for our community work. Let's see. So we're having a daily Facebook live video at 10 a.m. Philippines time, which is the same as 10 p.m. New York time. I'm going to be having a course in love that I'm putting the finishing touches on. It's the first course of many. This is a general foundation course. It's kind of a prerequisite for any of the other courses that will be coming along in the coming months. And this is Love 101. It's an introduction to genuine love. And that's going to be available to purchase on what will it be? It'll be the 26th of May. And it'll be discounted from the 26th to the 31st. And there will be a limit of 38 people at any given time because I want to be sure that I give full attention to anybody who buys the course and wants to go through the course. Any support they might need, I want to be able to provide that. We'll have a live seminar in New York if you're interested in that. That'll be in September, so New York City, Manhattan. We're lining things up for that now. That'll also be limited to about 38 people at that course on that weekend. So more details coming because that's still coming together. So stay tuned with Love Buddy. If you're interested, please share, please comment, please offer challenges, please offer your own ideas. I'm quite interested as this discussion in love continues. And I hope that we all learned more. I know I did, just having a chance to talk about it. I know I learned more about when I hate when I'm outside of the love zone and when I'm not really being very loving. And it definitely happens. And I'm definitely not a great example when it comes to that. I'm still learning, but I am learning. So I hope this was beneficial for you today. My name is Matthew. This is Love Buddy. And have a wonderful day. I love you. See you tomorrow.